The night before I left for Barcelona, my father sent me a text that I've read probably 100 times since. Cosign your sister's mortgage or don't come home. No punctuation, no question mark, just a condition. And here's what I did. I read it twice. I took a screenshot. I saved it with a timestamp, and then I started packing. Because that text wasn't a surprise. It was a conclusion, the final sentence of a story that had been written my entire life. A story where my name only appeared in the chapters where someone needed something. This is how I stopped being my family's emergency fund and started becoming my own. My name is Jessica. I'm 32, senior project manager, 3 weeks from a relocation to Barcelona when my sister Madison called asking for $38,000. Not borrowing, asking. The way you ask someone to pass the salt. She wanted a cosign on a mortgage, a house she and her fiancé couldn't qualify for a loan. And when I said no, gently, clearly, with reasons, the machinery started. First Madison, then dad again, then the text, cosign, or don't come back. What I want you to understand is that this wasn't the first time. It was just the first time I had somewhere else to be. Every family has a system. Most families don't admit to having one. Ours was simple. Madison won. I contributed. Her A grades earned dinner reservations. My B plus earned a question. Why not an A? She made varsity volleyball. My father filmed every game with the pride of someone watching history. I joined the art club. My mother forgot to pick me up twice. At 16, she received a car. Polished, insured, celebrated with photos. My 16th birthday was Applebee's and a gift card. Be grateful, my mother said, like gratitude was a receipt you owed for existing. Senior year, I saved for a Washington, D.C. trip in a lockbox. Cash counted every night, like a ritual I believed in. I came up half short. The money hadn't disappeared. It had been relocated. Madison needed concert tickets. Sharing is what families do, my mother said, already closing the subject. I didn't make it to Washington. What I made instead was a decision, quiet and private. I would guard what was mine, not selfishly, carefully, because no one else was going to. College repeated everything with a larger budget. Madison borrowed money across those years with the casual confidence of someone who had never experienced the word no landing with any real weight. She promised repayment the way people promise to call, warmly and without intention. I worked 2 jobs 1 semester straight. She posted weekend getaways and new shoes. I told myself the math would eventually embarrass her. It never did. After her engagement, the ask upgraded. She needed a credit card to book vendors. I added her as an authorized user. Temporary, she said, with the smile people use when they know something won't be. Life moved. I moved. The card stayed on my account, the way old subscriptions do. Forgotten, then suddenly expensive. 3 weeks before the mortgage conversation, I opened my statement. $6,047. Restaurants, boutiques, a spa package, no conversation, no heads up. When I asked, she pivoted like a practiced attorney. We're furnishing our home. You knew that. And then my father called with his line, rehearsed, firm, non-negotiable. Family first, Jessica. Step up. I kept my voice even. I'd had years of practice. Needs and wants aren't the same thing, I said. A house is a want. My savings is a need. The call ended. The machinery kept running. There's a version of this story where I cried, where I agonized, where I called a friend at midnight and questioned everything. That's not what happened. What happened was a checklist. I called the card issuer, remove an authorized user immediately. The agent verified my identity, confirmed the last 4 digits, and told me it was done. I filed a dispute on $647 in unauthorized charges. I downloaded the case number as a PDF and saved it to a new folder I labeled simply Boundaries. I called my bank, 28 minutes on hold, removed my sister as beneficiary. They sent a DocuSign link. I signed it, time-stamped it, archived it. I reset every password. New recovery emails, new backup numbers, 2-factor authentication on every account without exception. I called my broker, add a verbal passphrase, no changes without in-person identification. He hesitated, then understood. Consider your accounts locked, he said. I finished before midnight. Then I wrote the family email. Subject, financial boundaries, effective immediately. No cosigns, no down payment contributions, no shared accounts. All access revoked. Final, non-negotiable. I wish you well. I changed the reply to address to my work email and retired the personal one they'd had for years. Then I closed the laptop. The apartment had never been so quiet. Morning brought 57 missed calls. I brewed coffee. I packed a bag. I did not call anyone back. What I did instead was log every message. Name, time, summary. Exact phrases, not impressions, because impressions can be argued with. Exact words cannot. At 9:40 p.m. the night before, my Aunt Carol had called. She didn't come with terms. She came with something rarer, honesty. You're doing the smart thing, she told me. Keep going. At 10:18 p.m., my friend Vanessa, tell me your side, she said. I told her everything. She didn't flinch or lecture. Barcelona fits you, she said. Keep going. The rest of the calls were conditions dressed as concern. Family is everything. But nobody mentioned which direction that obligation was supposed to run. I didn't argue. I logged. I stopped explaining my no and started engineering it. I landed on a Thursday. A company driver held a placard with my name. Apartment keys waited at reception. A short lease near Parc de la Ciutadella. Orientation was scheduled for Monday at 9 a.m. My new manager, Elena, emailed Sunday night. Can you start tomorrow? We have pre-work before kickoff. Confirmed, I wrote back. No apologies, no explanations. The office sat near the marina. Glass walls, whiteboards, a culture of quiet focus. The team was international. Spain, Poland, Brazil, India, the UK. Elena introduced me simply. Jess handles distribution mapping. 3 regions, 5 vendors, compressed timeline. I asked for raw data first. Orders, delays, chargebacks, carrier notes. We cleaned it together before we modeled anything. By 6:40 on the first evening, patterns surfaced. 2 supply lanes were dragging monthly averages. I built a brief. 12 slides, bullets instead of paragraphs. Elena skimmed it, nodded once, present tomorrow. At 9:15, the client liked specifics. They circled 3 recommendations on the spot. Elena stopped me in the hallway afterward. Good work. Clear, testable, fast. That was the entire review. It was more than enough. The weekend arrived with ordinary errands, a SIM card, a transit card, groceries from a market where nobody knew my name or my family's history. I walked the park at dusk. Families, skaters, dogs, low music from somewhere I couldn't locate. I didn't feel brave. I felt correctly placed, which is a different thing entirely, and I think a better one. Monday brought a one-on-one with Elena. We're considering extending your contract. Amsterdam, Prague, possibly Singapore after the leadership track, if results hold. Let me think, I said. I already knew the answer that night. I booked a therapy consultation the following Tuesday. Dr. Martinez, English sessions for expats. The first session was spent on a single phrase. Family is everything. Who defined everything? She asked. Who benefited from that definition? She gave me homework. When guilt spikes, list facts, not feelings. Facts. I left with something that felt structural. Wednesday, a message from Marcus, Jason's older brother, steady voice, someone I'd always trusted. Can we talk 5 minutes? We met on video at 8 p.m. He didn't hedge. They can't afford that house. Multiple cards near their limit. Late payments last winter. Jason's promotion isn't guaranteed. I warned them months ago. He paused. They framed you as the cruel one. You're not. You're careful. The call ended. The room felt simpler than it had in years. Payroll processed that Thursday. I opened a Spanish bank account. Direct deposit. No shared access. No exceptions. 2 weeks later, I signed a long-term lease. Tall windows, small balcony, morning light that arrived without asking permission. The keys felt deserved, not borrowed, not contingent, not tied to anyone else's approval. The first crack came through a text from Madison. House fell through. Seller moved on. No acknowledgement of my refusal. No mention of the money dispute. Just the fact, delivered like weather. An hour later, Marcus messaged again. They found another place. Smaller, worse neighborhood. His parents co-signed, but with strict conditions. Spending caps, no new credit cards, mandatory savings requirements. Then they refused Madison's request for furniture money. I logged it, date, sender, exact phrasing. Then Aunt Carol emailed with a news article attached. A couple under investigation for insurance fraud, a suspicious burglary at a rental property. Names withheld, but the timeline and the details landed like recognition. I read it 3 times. I didn't forward it. I didn't call anyone. Some things don't need your commentary. They just need your witness. My phone rang that evening from an unknown Philadelphia number. I let it go once, answered on the second ring. Jessica, it's Mom. Her voice was smaller than I remembered it. I got this number from Carol. Please don't be angry. A silence. Then, I'm sorry. Not defensive, not conditional, not framed as an opening bid. She went through the list herself. The mortgage pressure, the ultimatum, letting my father choose sides, teaching me family first while meaning Jessica last, pretending Madison's wants were needs, calling my career a phase while she was standing in it. What changed? I asked. Consequences, she said. Ones we can't spin anymore. Your aunt showed me the paperwork, the late fees, the delinquent notices, your screenshots. I thought I knew the story. I didn't. Then, quietly, can we talk again sometime? I measured the question. Then I answered it in full. I can forgive, I said, but forgiveness isn't access. It isn't holidays or passwords or cosigns. It isn't instant trust. It means I won't carry the weight of it anymore. It doesn't mean you're inside. A long quiet. I understand, she said. I'll earn whatever comes. We ended on logistics. Email, not calls, for now. No group chats, no surprise visits. Afterward, I documented everything. Time, summary, her exact words. Then I made tea. Then I answered no one else. Dad sent one message. Your mother is upset. Period. Madison posted a status. Some sisters never grow up. I didn't reply. I didn't watch the comments. Alina's calendar invite arrived. Leadership presentation, next Thursday. I rehearsed facts, not feelings. I slept cleanly that night. The leadership deck landed the way I'd built it to. Numbers first, next steps second. No narrative padding. Elena waited until the room cleared. Stay long term. Lead 2 regions. Amsterdam and Prague first. She paused. Singapore after, if you want it. I asked for 48 hours. I needed none of them. I accepted on Tuesday. HR started paperwork the same afternoon. Weeknights became language class and long walks. Weekends became trains and museums, and the specific pleasure of having no one to explain yourself to. Colleagues became friends. We shared calendars, not crises. Therapy moved to monthly. Dr. Martinez had a new line she offered near the end of one session. Your guilt isn't guidance. Facts are. I wrote it down. Mom emailed twice that month. Updates. No pressure. No asks. I replied when ready. Short. Factual. Steady. Dad didn't write. Silence stayed his choice. Madison messaged once. I blocked the thread and archived it without reading past the first line. Aunt Carol sent photos. She called my life earned. The word fit. Work scaled from pilots to full rollouts. Operations stabilized. Clients renewed earlier premium rates. Payroll hit a Spanish account that no one else could access. Savings grew without committee approval. I cooked for friends on a Friday. We toasted to boring peace, which sounds like a small thing until you've spent years living without it. I booked flights to Singapore, 12-week prep, 2-year horizon. Before leaving, I walked back through the park. I called Vanessa at sunset. I'm okay, I told her, more than okay. She laughed into the wind. Keep choosing this version. That night, I wrote to my mother. Barcelona became home. Singapore is next. I'm open to slow contact, email only, for now. I sent it before I could second guess it. No panic, just plans. Here's what I want to leave you with. If family is everything, let it be chosen family. People who show up without conditions, who celebrate your wins without tallying what they're owed, who understand that love and access are not the same thing. If forgiveness is real, let it arrive with changed behavior, not just apology. Words are cheap, patterns are data. If you've been the one who absorbs the cost, the one who covers, the one who guards quietly, the one who saves in a lockbox only to find it half empty, I want you to know something. You don't have to outrun your past. You just have to outpace it with proof. They wanted my signature. I signed my future. If you've chosen yourself over guilt, tell me your moment below.